What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Learn Crypto. My name is Nick Hellman.
I'm Todd Butterfield.
How is everybody doing? It was a great weekend in the markets. We had some decent weather here in St. Louis. Hopefully you guys had some good weather as well. Today we're going to have Todd look at the TA. It seems like we have a lot of indecision in the market right now. We'll talk about a tweet I did talking about indecision as well. Also, Kraken did earn a little of my respect after the New York's Attorney General reached out to several exchanges talking about regulations. I think it is very interesting how Kraken chose to reply. And then lastly, Goldman Sachs might be the first banking industry to put in a Bitcoin trading desk. We'll get to that article here in a little bit. Right after this intro, guys, we'll get the show started.
Let's do it.
With a common denominator.
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Let's talk about something important. Put that coffee down.
I'm not here to waste your time.
Everyone has access to the information. We just know how to analyze it better.
Where else you gonna have this much fun?
You the man.
Todd Father.
Show me the money.
What I've been doing, had to triple my bag. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Yeah. Had to triple my bag.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's no trick to make a lot of money. All you want is to make a lot of money.
What's up?
What's going on, guys and girls?
How are we doing today?
Buyers and sellers.
Yeah, right.
Overbought and oversold.
I think Dolphin134 said something that Todd wanted to reply to up here.
Yeah, I wanted to...
It said Matt needs his cords and hat ASAP FYI.
My comment to that is I heard Matt was saying that a few times on his show. I won't give him back his hats. So I guess give me the screen real quick, because I obviously don't keep people's information. So right here, Matt tells me he needs his hats and magazines. And I said, I'll get it all together and let you know when I'm free. This was February 14th. Keep the shit. Good luck. So that's, I don't have his hats are here. He's welcome to get them. I don't keep people's hats. I didn't keep his hats. He's told everybody that for a few weeks. So let him know that's not true. So he talks about being truthful and 100%, then he needs to be truthful about some $12 hats. So that's all we're talking about there.
Cool. Well, let's see what we got going on over here on the cryptocurrency market capitalization. We are back over $400 billion, which is good to see, guys. We are currently at $401.4 billion, but the Bitcoin dominance does continue to slide. It's down to 37.7%. This would kind of go against historical data and how the bull runs usually begin, with the Bitcoin and large caps leading the way, and then altcoins surging after that. But who knows? Historical trends can always be broken, and a new trend can be created. Bitcoin is currently at $8,916, up 1% for the day. Ethereum is $642, up 2.5% for the day. Ripple down a little bit, a little in the red at 87 cents. If you guys follow me on Twitter, I did make kind of a little bit of a joke saying I was selling the Ripple that you guys in the community kind of forced me to buy at 90 cents. So far that trade has worked out for me. And then Bitcoin Cash continues again, up 16.39%. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on with Bitcoin Cash and maybe some of the things that are helping Bitcoin Cash continue its uptrend. See what's going well for the day. Mixin, 54%. This was on the leaderboard last live show as well. I'm just not familiar with it. I might need to look into it with it continuing to put in some massive gains. Obviously, it does have kind of low liquidity, so that might help it as well. Kin is looking good. I know some of you guys like Kin. Bitcoin Gold, ever since that interview, has gone up every single day, currently at 77.60. And then we got Ethos, guys, starting to see some green. This is on the rumor that their universal wallet may be ready by Friday. That is not for fact, guys, but if you haven't already, I would definitely register for the universal wallet, as you are then eligible for 10 airdrops. Also, if they are going to deliver half the product they are promising, I think this is going to be pretty good. That's about it for this. We'll let Todd look at the TA, then we'll start digging into some more
Neblio
news
and
here.
Icon and Walton down there too.
Which are ones that we always like.
Some 10% gains. So, well, guys, I've been pretty spot on my morning or noon Bitcoin updates. Usually, I mean, when you're on the Elliott wave count and you're correct, it's kind of hard to believe how easy it can be. This is still the triangle I think we're in. I mean, this can take a lot of different, 12,000 would be, 12.5 would just give it a good look, get above these previous highs here. But, the formation of the triangle can change. It will be ABC moves. It should be 0.618s, etc. So let's zero in on the 1 hour. Just go over what I've been talking about on the videos. We're still in this, looks like a triangle up here, which is probably 5 waves up from the light blue 4, which would still take us above probably this high at 91.75. That would be a wave 3, hopefully, and then a wave 4 down and a wave 5 back up to, let's just say 10,000. And then you would have a pretty big pullback to, let's just say 8,500, and then a move to 12,000. So that's kind of the roadmap at the moment. I mean, this can change because, it's never that easy. This could be a 1, 2 in the blue here. This could be a 3 blue, 4 blue, and we're putting in a big top right here or going to at a new high. And then we would have the pullback to 7,700 or something. I mean, I think ultimately the strength is showing us we are headed above 11,750. I guess that's what I'm hoping more than anything. We talked about trying to trade a few things, but look, I've warned people, when markets are headed down, you wish you would have traded, you wish you would have done this. In a bull move, the surprise is to the upside. So be careful, having that short-term thinking again if we're moving to 12,000 because you're going to miss majority of the rally. Perfect example would be Bitcoin Cash. I mean, if you're a trader, they've been very easy to got out at 850, 950, 1050, 1150, wherever. Here we are, 1435. You could trail stops. Again, if you give yourself enough breathing room. We talked about Dash. I think it was just Friday when it was down here at this triangle, which meant a new high could be sold. I think it was at 430. And I said, you could sell a new high. I wouldn't do it quite yet because Bitcoin could do its 5th. And then you'd have a pullback to previous support at 370. The thing is here, once again, Dash has just taken off to the upside. So if you've sold anything before now you got to worry about getting it back. I don't think you want to be worrying about getting stuff back if we're headed a lot higher here. So I don't really want to be in a situation for PCG clients where I'm have sold something that just ran on me. Now I got to get it back, because then you start getting nervous that it's 100 points higher than where you sold it, and where are you going to buy it back? Then you end up buying it back right before it breaks. So those are tough situations. So, Dash here, 1, 2, 3, 4 looks more suspect now because this 5th wave is so strong. But that showed you again that probably we were way oversold and the sellers have been taken out of the game. So now the surprises are to the upside. So here's Classic firmed up again. It was sitting down there at 1850, kind of quiet. We're back to 2040. We're still below what I thought was kind of support. So I would like to see more strength here. Ethereum 646, rocking and rolling. Again, the 5th wave came in solid here. 665 or so is a 0.18 retracement Fibonacci. That's probably, I had marked this before when we was down at 375 that we could get a 700. So we're getting close to that. Somewhere here, I think you're going to have an ABC down before another rally. So once again, if you're, I had a few people that wanted to trade. I think I sold some 618s. So here I am at 618. Now we're 30 higher. So now I got to figure out, can I get that back? I presume I will, because I think there's something over here coming down. But again, I think we're going higher. You normally don't want to trade against the trend. So, if you want to be cute short term, you probably can do some trading somewhere up here. I'd be more entertaining that idea if Bitcoin would do that 91.50 or 92. But again, guys, I mean, and that's why on PCG I was keeping 70, 80% long, because if we're believing this market goes a lot higher longer term, it's going to do it when you're not looking. So you got to be careful. Same thing, Erwin, talking about using stops, protecting gains, etc. And Wyckoff talked about using stops, but Wyckoff also wasn't trading cryptos that move, that have 10x's, etc. And that if it's right over the next 3 or 4 or 5 years could do 20 and 30x's. So I keep trying to explain to people, if you're looking for a coin to go up 300%, your stop's at 0, then basically you're willing to not use a stop because the gains are so huge that you're looking forward to. So it's easy to say you're looking for big gains like that, but some of us are looking for bigger gains like that. So if you get stopped out on a coin right before it goes up 1, 2, or 3 times, you've totally screwed up your future trading and portfolio and everything else. So I'm still not willing to do that. We should have traded better on the way down, but I think having that trading mentality now on the way back up is probably going to be a mistake.
I feel like the implementation of stops in traditional markets versus cryptocurrencies have to be a little different. The only time I ever use stops, guys, it's on a like buy the rumor, sell the news use case. So like Verge would have been a decent candidate for using stops. If it's a coin that maybe you're not super long term on, or it's not,
or if you're doubling up on because you like the way it looks short term or something.
Exactly. So that's what I was going to say. Short term implementation or writing news or writing rumors. That's when utilization of stops can be good in cryptos. If you are buying and holding a position for the long term with maybe some swing trades here and there, the ratio for stops with the crypto market and the amount of gains and losses that can be had in any given day just does not allow for solid trading. And you might have a couple wins here. You'd be like, oh, I stopped myself out. Great, I get a little trade. But in the long term, you're going to find yourself chasing a lot of these coins in the future.
Back when Neo went from 15 to 150 using stops, there was all kinds of, on all these coins, there's all kinds of 20 and 30% pullbacks that you would have got stopped out on. So once again, when I give stock recommendations at wyckoffsmi.com, always have stops because I'm looking for a 10 or 20 or 30% gain. So I've got to have a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. But if you walk in here today and give me some money to manage longer term, it's hard to use stops unless I'm specifically trading that, or like I say, I'm doubling up on a position, or I really like something the way it held support. It just did a spring. I think it's headed higher. I want to increase my risk, etc. So I would use stops there, but these coins move way too fast. They're too thin. They can be fat fingered. So, and again, we're looking for, I hate to say we're looking for home runs, but most clients, we've agreed, as I've said many times, we're 70, 80% holding, looking for long-term gain. So all I did is didn't trade the 20 or 30% that I should have traded more successfully. But these markets are going to be here every day. There's plenty of times to be trading. And again, I think the problem is when you get in the mentality that you should be trading now, nobody wanted to trade when we came into January. I had sold some people out without naming names. I sold some Bitcoin at 12,750. Clients bought it right back. I sold Verge at the exact highs. Clients bought it right back. So it was way easy to get caught up in that, and I probably even did it myself too much. But, so when you see Bitcoin fall 1,000, rally a little bit, fall 1,000, rally a little bit, you get in your thinking that you want to trade, you want to take a gain, you want to feel good about something. And all I'm telling you is if we're starting a move up now, trading is not what mentality you want to have. If we're headed back to new lows, if you think we're going to go back and check 6,000 or 4,000 or something, yeah, you do want to be trading. And I might be wrong. We might be going to do that. But I've been saying, especially with the noon updates I'm doing, I mean, so far, Bitcoin, and then all of a sudden these coins are all perking up. So it looks like we was oversold at the lows. It looks like we have taken a lot of people out of the game. The news trickles in a little bit better, it seems, every day. And Bitcoin keeps chugging away. The Wyckoff and the LA Wave is starting to work a little bit more. So I personally think there's brighter days ahead. But if you don't believe that, then shoot, yeah, you need to be trading. You need to sell some Ethereum right here, or Bitcoin grows through 9,000. Sell some Ethereum. Litecoin looks a little heavy to me. Neo looks a little heavy maybe. But that's just right here, right now. They could run up 10 or 20%. All of a sudden, they don't look heavy no more. So, and they're going to do that when you're not looking. So that's all I'm trying to put out there is just, this is the toughest game in the world. Don't think you've got it figured out.
Crypto Gray says, can wave 5 be longer than wave 3? And Elliot, is that what the chart shows?
Wave 5's in commodities, which, hey, we're calling cryptos commodities, I guess, by what the government says. Fifth waves is normally the longest because that's when you get the real emotion. Nobody wanted to buy the 2 pullback. Nobody chased it on the wave 3, which is normally the strongest. Nobody bought the wave 4 pullback, and they chased the hell out of it to the upside. So you catch stops, you get everybody running for it. So yeah, wave 5s can definitely be longer, and you still might retrace to the previous fourth, or a Fibonacci retracement of that. So yeah, the fifth wave can be longer. That's why I'm saying if Bitcoin goes above the 9,000 high to 91.50, 92.50, I think you probably want to sell that. But again, for me, I'm not going to guarantee any PCG client that I'm selling that, even though I'm kind of talking about it, because I don't want to miss a further run. An Elliott wave, it works a lot of times, but I've seen it be wrong. And again, I think these markets are going a lot higher. So I think Bitcoin is going a lot higher. Anybody that's short-term trading right now, I think they got this figured out. I'll guarantee when Bitcoin's at 36,000, they're going to look around. They're going to be like, how did I not make any money? Well, it's because you sold right before the biggest turn up, and then you bought back in. And so I don't want to be sitting there. I can't be sitting there with the PCG client when we're at 36,000 Bitcoin apologizing because I'm 80% in cash. So that's not going to work. So I can apologize. I'm screwing up a little bit short-term. But I also know that these markets are here every day, so I'm going to give plenty of time to trade, and markets will get easier, and my software is getting closer to launching, which makes me feel better. Whether I trade better, who knows, but it gives me the confidence, and confidence in being, more sure of your trades is even half the battle, because you're not trading with a weak hand. So you need to have confidence in what you're doing. So let's go. This is Litecoin 1 hour. Let's go back out and do a 4 hour. I've raised this a little bit because I think, before we might have had, looking much more like this, but I don't think that's probably it now. I think it's probably more something like this, because I think, Bitcoin and these coins are doing ABCs to the upside now. We're trying to finish off what I think's the A with Bitcoin, etc. Some type of ABC, pullback, flat, triangle. It can do lots of things, and then still another run. So I think, if I'm right, Litecoin could do a 210 somewhere here, but we've got some type of correction before that happens. And Litecoin is acting a little heavy to me, but again, I don't, that's a short-term observation that I'm not sure is going to work. There's Neo, still doing well. I mean, be nice to see another run, but nothing wrong with Neo. And again, it's one of those can come alive when everyone decides they're don't own enough of it. There's OMG. I'm kind of moving the uptrend over a little bit. I was hoping for another spurt to the upside, but still, look back, a pretty good chart pattern considering all we've been through. There's Vertcoin real quick, back to what I think was previous support. Be nice to get above that. Ripple at 87 cents. A long way to go. Doing a little triangle down here at the bottom again. Be nice to see that be another little pork blaster and get another run to new highs, which might happen if Bitcoin can firm up here. I would think Ripple you probably could trade. I mean, I don't think it's one of those that could probably run on you, but my God, it ran, as we all know, before. So, because I don't want to talk somebody out of what I think are long-term big positions by trying to be cute on a trade. So there's EOS 1160. Let's go through a few more of these smaller caps. PivX, that was one Matt was looking at. The blue line is kind of what we thought was a growth line. So it's trying to get back to that. Double from 3 up to 6. So that was a decent little call. We've got XLM USD. I think if you go out Some of these I've got ABCs marked. Let me see where I've got. There's XMR 283. That's a pretty nice run from 160. XVG still at that 70 cents. I kind of wish it would. I thought maybe it could firm up and get back to 85 or 90, but it's not acting very well. Zen had a pretty big pullback, took out its support line, I think. I'm sure it's in some type of sideways here before further highs.
Our initial price target on that was $42, and it almost hit that dead on.
And then ZRX at $1. That's one of those, I really think these are probably, this is an A high, this is a B low, and we're going for a C, maybe back to the $1.50 or so. So I think some of these still work higher. I think that's, some of these, I know I had a few other coins marked. I think there. I mean, like a Ubik. I think that was an A, this is a B, and we're going up for a C. So there's still good percents here on these coins, but, I'm still mostly large cap because I think I still see Joe investor bringing money into this game. They're going to go to Bitcoin. They're going to go to Ethereum, Litecoin, etc. They're going to go to Coinbase. We've talked about that in the past. Then they're going to venture out into these other coins when they get brave. But I think for most people, you need to stay in the big names for now. Play around with a few other small names and or trade them. So I would trade those much more too if I had more of those. But I got kind of core holdings I don't think I really want to give up.
America Warrior says, well, boys, got to go. Wife has dinner ready. I'll catch the rest of the show and the beginning afterwards. Good night and all good trading. Shout out to you. Have a good night, guys. Let me steal this from you, Todd. You've been over there for a little while, and then we'll get you going again. So first of all, I just wanted to say shout out and congratulations to everybody who won the ECA giveaway from last week. If you look over here on my Twitter, I do have a list of all of the names of the winners. So we did 2 winners from every video. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to everybody in the ECA community that donated those coins to the show for us to give away. Also, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to get all new content over here on Learn Crypto. Usually say that in the beginning, but I forgot. What else we got going on? The Aeon Network mainnet live stream launch will be occurring on April 25th. That is part of the reason that you've seen a run-up in Aeon. I have tried to make some swing trades on Aeon. I'm looking to get back into it around 4 million Satoshis. I like Aeon, ICX, and WAN Chain, the threesome of those for the long term. I think they're fundamentally sound, and the partnership will bring good, I don't want to say gains, but we'll see what happens. This market's going higher, guys, and I like all 3 of those coins, all right? And then lastly, I kind of talked a little bit about dollar cost average this weekend. A lot of people, I think Carter Thomas did a poll and asked, people think it's going to 10,000 or 7,000? And he literally got a 50-50 split of the price there. So to me, that says there's very much indecision in the market, very much indecision from retail investors. And your friend during indecision is just dollar cost average, guys.
He asked 5,000 or 10,000?
He asked 10,000 or 7,000.
10,000 or 7,000.
And he had exactly 50-50 split. I think there was 2 more votes for 10,000, something crazy. Yep. And that, that's a small sample size, but it was like 4,000, pollers. So not too bad. And dollar cost average can be your friend, guys. If you say every paycheck, I'm going to put $100 into this set crypto or these pool of cryptos, and no matter what the market is doing, it's going to keep your emotions out of it. Because I think we all can agree 1 year from today, any main coin and any coin that is fundamentally sound is going to have a much higher price valuation than it does currently. If you believe in the space, if you believe in what blockchain and cryptos are going to do, not only for financial fields, but all different parts of the ecosystem, the prices are going to be higher, guys. This is still a very young industry, and we are just starting to tip the iceberg on what blockchain technology and smart contract technologies can really do. Up until this point, it's been massively speculation, and there's projects and coins that have $1 billion valuation that are just now starting to produce products that really solve real-world use cases. So I'm really excited here for the future, guys. Also, guys, earlier I tweeted, taking profits on Bitcoin Cash seems logical at this point. The reason I said that is I think there's 3 things that have really been propelling this Bitcoin Cash price. Number 1, Bitcoin Cash was one of the most oversold coins based on RSI readings and other readings. It was down there with Ethereum as well. So obviously you should be expecting a bounce if you wanted to try to make a trade on that. So I think that's why it had a good bounce. Number two, as the market went up, all these coins went up 10, 15, 20%. Bitcoin Cash, just like everything else, just followed suit. But I think the real thing that is propelling this further is there is a Bitcoin Cash hard fork occurring on May 15th, I believe. I think a lot of people are misunderstanding the term of hard fork for Bitcoin Cash. This isn't going to be a hard fork where if you own Bitcoin Cash, you're going to get another token. This is simply they're increasing their block size and changing some code base to where the current Bitcoin Cash blockchain is going to be left behind, and everybody has consensus, and they're all moving to the new Bitcoin Cash blockchain. And I think that is, a lot of people are reading that. I've had several people ask me questions about that today. I think a lot of people are reading it assuming, hey, if I own Bitcoin Cash, where do I need to put this to get my free money? That is not the case for this hard fork. This is very similar to the Monero ASIC resistant hard fork, where they're getting consensus voting, moving on with a new Monero code base, and the old code base is no longer going to be in existence. There is no airdrop. There is no new token.
Cool. Good to know.
So let's look at Goldman Sachs over here. They just made its first crypto hire to explore a potential Bitcoin trading desk. Goldman Sachs has brought on a former crypto trader, Justin Schmidt, to explore creating a Bitcoin trading desk. It's the bank's first crypto-specific hire, according to a person familiar with the hire. And if Goldman does go ahead with a crypto desk, it would be the first major U.S. bank to do so. Now, I didn't bring this article up as much to say, hey, look what's going on, but I think what this shows is that financial industries, institutional money, banking systems are starting to get interest in blockchain. They're starting to figure out ways how they can get their investors involved in this cryptocurrency space. And I think overall that is really going to help this market cap and really going to help, how people view cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. Right now, if you walk up to a random person on the street and say, hey, what do you know about Bitcoin? Half of them probably are going to laugh at you and say it's fake money. Another half is going to say, oh, isn't that you just used for drugs and terrorists and porn? I think this is really starting to bring to the mainstream the real use case of blockchain, the real benefits of decentralized monetary system. And I think this is another step in the right direction.
We just got to make sure in the future we have the right coins.
Yep. Right here it says banks began to dip their toes into the digital currencies world last year at the price of Bitcoin soared to $20,000. This is a quote from Goldman. In response to client interest in various digital products, we are exploring how best to serve them in the space. At this point, we have not reached a conclusion on the scope of our digital asset offering. What do you think would happen if they did, a Bitcoin trading desk? How would they offer that to clients? Would they have some kind of ETF? How would they work that?
I think they'll be there to buy and sell for them and help them, but that'll be, their clients are the big money. So, I mean, whether they hire this guy or not, they're going to be hiring him, I think. So all these banks are going to be moving into this area. Everyone's going to want to offer it to their clients. You're going to bring in much bigger money than this area has seen. So
we got some people over here, drugs and porn, I'm in. Dolphin134 says, store some wealth in ETC, guys. Guys, I've been super bullish on ETC. ETC has had a whole code rewrite. They are one of my favorite protocol tokens right now. I think they have a really bright future for 2018.
His wife told him to get his plate and go back to Wyckoff Wizards. That's funny.
Hey, at least she's wanting you to make a few dollars here.
America's warrior.
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
I had one more thing I wanted to touch base on too before we move on and just start answering some fundamental questions and getting some chart suggestions from the chat over here. So if you guys did not know, the New York Attorney General reached out to several exchanges kind of asking them to provide some information to them as they were going to bring down the hammer with some regulations. And Kraken decided to reply to them in kind of a funny manner. So we'll give you an introduction on Kraken real quick. Since 2011, Kraken has been a leader in the industry, actively developing and driving multiple self-regulatory organizations and working with regulatories to enact fair and effective rules to govern the evolving blockchain industry. In fact, had we not laid off half of the team in 2014, our legal bills would have bankrupted the company. As a startup and hodler, lawyers are the last thing you want to be spending money on, but we started this business because we wanted to do things differently. We left our cushy jobs as founders of another successful company out of an ideological motivation to build that legitimate professional exchange which would be capable of bridging crypto with traditional financial institutions and bringing it to the mainstream. This is still our mission today. It is a mission that we cannot accomplish without working with regulators. They go on here. Kraken's recent response to the NYAG's questionnaire should not be taken as indication that Kraken is opposed to working with the government. The problems with the NYAG's request are as follows, and I'm not going to read all these, but they are very sarcastic and pretty much saying pretty much giving the middle finger to the New York Attorney General here. And if you guys want to read through this, more power to you. It was a really good write-up, and they kind of explain why some of their regulation would actually constrain the crypto market and constrain technological improvements with blockchain and smart contracts and how it can be used day to day. But I did want to read this conclusion down here because it's pretty funny. Let's see where we're at here.
They went in.
Yeah, conclusion. Despite not having total, consistent, clear global regulation, businesses and consumers have managed to figure it out and get along. Yes, scams are rampant, but these are cases of simple fraud. Crypto-specific regulation isn't necessary to prosecute, as the SEC has made clear. The major exchanges are by and large good actors here, providing a valuable service in a very dangerous and difficult environment. Rather than handing down commandments from the ivory tower, regulators ought to seek the expertise of these businesses who have survived and managed to earn the trust of consumers and law enforcement over the years. We encourage regulators to resist the temptation to just swing at whatever's within an arm's reach. Think about your long-term strategy. If you make life too difficult for your neighbors, they might move away. And then you will be attempting to protect your consumers from the guys across the ocean who couldn't care less about your strong right hook. Kraken is always willing to work with regulators and law enforcement. Whether you think you have us by the balls or not, approaching us with some basic respect and having a conversation is always going to make the interaction smoother and help you get what you want faster than storming in with your or else list of demands. So they went hard. And this isn't just some random article. This is on, if you go and log into Kraken's exchange, you can find this article there. You know, they earn my respect a little bit because if people don't stand up to what's been going on, for whatever reasons you're in crypto, guys, the reason that cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin was created was to create a decentralized monetary system in which the average Joes, like most of us are, don't continue to get stomped on. We don't need third-party banks to use our money. We can transfer money whenever we want for a cheap fee to whoever we want all across the globe. We don't need the banks to be open like they're closed on the weekends. We don't need to pay absorbent, like huge international transaction fees to spend our own money. And we don't need banks saying, oh, you can't spend your money on Coinbase. If I want to spend my money on a pink tutu, I can spend my money on whatever I want. And I think the guy from Kraken here, I don't know if this was a team or just the CEO, really stood up for what cryptos stand for, their vision. And I might have to actually start trading a little bit on Kraken. I don't really do it currently for whatever reason. But definitely a good read if you guys want to get a little information on that. I know Carter Thomas from Coin Mastery gave this guy a shout out today as well, so I kind of wanted to do the same after reading the article.
Jesse went in.
He went hard.
All right, we got a graduate. Let me bring that up here real quick. I had a graduate today. We've got Teresa Fernandez completed the course. I checked because I believe she started that course about 2 months ago. So it took her 2 months to finish. Shout out to Teresa. If you got any questions, Teresa, you know to hit me up. I'm here to help. I have added a lot more to the course. I'm adding some videos. I'm working on the charts for the OP Force and Tech lessons. I had them done, but I wanted charts from the actual software. So as I showed on the noon update, the software, which actually, there's the stock. There is the WWCI at the top here. We're calling that the Wyckoff Wave Crypto Index. You can see everything looks good. Got the technometer at 48, OP and Force trending higher. 50 is overbought. But again, we're in a pretty good bull move here. So that 50 isn't just sell and go away. It's market's overbought, pay attention. So there's Ethereum. And 644. It was more overbought earlier today. So it's still kind of neutral as well. Litecoin. Just going to go over a few of these real quick. 46.50. So from the technometer readings, everything looks like we got a little bit higher to go. Again, I'm not really trading off the software. I'm kind of monitoring it still. Vladimir and I talked this morning. What happens is like on Bitcoin, unless you've gotten it fixed, we had one data point missing. You can see the OP in force and tech because of that. Sometime in the last 10 days there's something missing. So it won't generate that. But otherwise, it's, as I've been saying, it's coming together. There's a lot of moving parts. Bar charts just throw me so many curveballs I wasn't expecting. I thought their data would be clean like their stock data. Because with my stock software, I don't really have any issues of any day. But there's a privacy index, WWP, 49.28. So a little more overbought there. But the real key is, on down the road here, let's go back to the WWCI, the crypto index. Let's see if we can go out to 3 months. Because Vladimir gave me some ideas today on how we can make some things a little bit better. I need to do more sectors. So there's the 3-month chart on the Wyckoff Wave Crypto Index. The thing you want to really look at is previous highs and lows. So like here at this previous low compared to here, we did go to a new low. As we know, Bitcoin didn't, but some of these other coins in this index did. And you can see that the OP and the force didn't go to new lows compared to over here. So that would have been showing a little bit of strength. We didn't really get an oversold reading. We had about 42.04 here. It would have been nice to got better, but we didn't because the OP and force was staying so firm. And now at 48, we're coming into some type of sell, but not there yet. So we're going to try to keep going over the software until I get it working exactly how I want, trade it some, and then hopefully we'll be able to offer it for a monthly subscription.
Alt Season Open says, have Vlad make a dark mode for the software. That could be...
I've got that. All I got to do is click it over.
There you go. Already in there. Also, RF Dusty says, anyone know anything about registering EOS? First of all, I think you can go over to the EOS main website, and there's a link there that you can learn how to do it. But from my understanding, Binance and some other exchanges have already came out and said they will support the conversion for you. Now, as that June date does approach, guys, I'm going to stay more up to date and make sure that that is correct. But like I said, Binance said that if you are an EOS ERC20 holder, which is what currently EOS is, when they make the change over to the registered proprietary EOS new blockchain token, Binance will automatically do that swap for you, and you have to do absolutely nothing. Now, this is one of the reasons Binance continues to take a step forward above all the other exchanges in the ecosystem, as they continue to give you every single airdrop, most of the forks, they give you random airdrops for BNB holders. They know that a lot of people in the space, even a lot of people trading, are not that technically savvy. And on certain things, kind of like the Escher airdrop for Ubic, they did give you step-by-step instructions, but you still have to go out and activate that smart contract for yourself. And some people just aren't tech savvy enough to do that. And I think that's what Binance is trying to do here with EOS. So I'll keep you guys up to date. You do have until June to do the registration for the EOS if you want to do it the hard way. But hopefully these exchanges hold true on their word.
Let me add the chart again because I want to make sure everyone knows, because we've got point and figure charts. Again, some of these I checked, they were working. We've got list of indicators. And this is all the top new indicators. So you can add the on-bounce volume. You can add moving averages, oscillators, Bollinger Bands, everything. So all that's a part of the software as well. And then you can do colored bars, candles, Heiken, Renko, Kaji lines, line, mountain, point, and figure chart. So we can go to the point and figure. You can see that it generates it. There is a few issues which you guys might not understand that I've got to have worked on. I mean, I want to be able to zero in on a 1 hour chart to get what I want. These are just things I got to work on. But the 1 hour chart, just like here, will give me what I want to do some point and figure chart counting. Right there is a low from Ethereum. So you could take a figure point count from here at the 387 level clear over. I think that's about 130 points. I think that gave us about a 520 objective. And if you notice, that's where we slowed up. And then you probably might be able to go over and do something from 413. So, you know, the software, I spent $50,000 on the software on the stock side. So all these buttons at the top are just copied over from the stock software that these guys built for me. So a lot of the, you know, the indicators, everything, I already have all that. I've already have all different forms you can put on it, free form stuff, Fibonacci fans, all that's already on here. We just got to get everything working correctly. So, but I'm getting there. So I got like 7 charts here if we want to go over real quick, people would ask about. I've got Nano. Somebody mentioned it's not doing much here along with ETC and LISC. You're correct, not doing much at all. If Bitcoin was at 12,000, I think some of these coins you might want to try to, you know, lower your cost basis or something. If we get a chance to do that. ETC, we already showed, yes, it's not rallying as strong, but it had a pretty good percent move off the bottom. So not horrible there. LISC, we haven't really showed here. LISC USD. That's a 4 hour. So yes, a 7 to 12 isn't bad percent wise, but that chart could have had a lot more to the upside here. So LISC is not performing as well either. Here is WAN BTC. Holding gains here, kind of a high level pork blaster possibly. But that's a 1 hour, so it could be doing better. That's not the strongest chart I've seen. WTC. Bitcoin.
Someone wants you to look at one of my favorites, WAN chain, as well.
Firming back up to the highs. And ICX. We've showed that before, the support level that fell below there. Now we're just back to it. I said I didn't really like the idea that it's hesitating there. So I wish ICX would get moving a little bit. NEBL Bitcoin 1 hour. Showing a little bit of strength, 12 to over 15 here in the last day and a half. So that one would look a lot better if it could get above the 155 level. And then let's go back to Digibyte USD, someone mentioned. I had an uptrend line there showing it's fallen out of that. Still maybe a triangle up here. Maybe we can see some more strength, but something probably that could back off, back and fill here before it goes higher.
I think you should bring up BNT.
BNT? Yep. B as in boy?
Yep.
Boy Nancy Tom.
Bancore, guys.
Bancore over Bitcoin.
Today, hypothetically, there may have been a short-term pick by a certain confidential group. For those of you who do not know, Bancore is a decentralized liquidity network that allows you to convert Ethereum tokens into other tokens with no counterparty risk. Now, it has already retreated all the way back. Wow. That is because that's what happens with this confidential group. I would not be buying it above anything over $5 UST value. Also, guys, do your own research on this, but there is rumors. Right now, it is only for ERC20 tokens. There is rumors that when the EOS switch happens, Bancore will be integrating with EOS and also has the possibility to be integrating with NEO in the future as well.
That's a 3-minute chart. So it ran up in 3 minutes and right back down. So it's about a minute and a half bull market.
I want you guys to go out and do a little research on Bancore. And no matter what you see, I don't want you to go too heavy in it if you decide to ever buy any. But there is some rumors circulating that it will not only be with Ethereum, but also adding EOS and NEO as far as the assets and that can be decentralized that the decentralized liquidity network can handle. So we'll see what happens with that in the future. Keep that in mind, guys.
There's a rumor we might need to run a disclaimer after that.
And let's do that.
Real quick.
There is a high degree of risk involved in trading cryptocurrencies. Our thoughts and ideas are for entertainment purposes only. Please consult your personal advisor or do your own research. Past results are not indicative of future returns. Thank you.
Somebody asked about Z Classic. We got that right in front of us. That's the 1 hour, which is a chart hard to believe, but it sure looks different when you zoom in. A quick move from 3 to 16. So, unbelievable.
That one
move.
has a little bit of finite information about it. So if you guys do, we'll go back a few steps. If you don't know what Z Classic was, why it looks so high, over $200 there, and went to practically zero, it was part of the Bitcoin private fork. So everybody who owns Z Classic got one Bitcoin private for that asset. Now, after the switch to Bitcoin private, every single developer left Z Classic to go to private, hence why it almost went to zero. Now, recently, some of the developers in a group that still obviously maintain Z Classic posted a Medium post saying they will be taking proposals on what Z Classic should do moving here into the future. And there's also some of the proposals are saying maybe they should do another fork. So all this price action right here is on the speculation that somebody with some kind of knowledge and some developer in the space is going to put forth a good proposal for Z Classic, since the privacy infrastructure is already in place, and that maybe they'll do an airdrop, or maybe they'll actually have a working product again here in the near future. While all this was going on, there was also some big name Twitter guys shilling the project, saying, hey, I know this was the least moral trade I've ever done as far as making profits, but he started to take in some of those profits. Obviously, he was accumulating when it was about $4, ran it to $15. Not bad. Obviously, the fundamentals aren't strong, but these kind of things do happen in this ecosystem, guys. At least that one did have a little bit of knowledge, a little like a write-up about it. So I'll keep you up to date if anything solidifies with Z Classic, if there actually is going to be a project. But just know, if you are chasing the green candles now, you're working purely off of speculation that somebody might pick up the project here in the future.
Okay, well, Bitcoin's got that triangle, and be nice to see a run above 9,000 here tonight, and see if we can do that 91.50 or 92, and then talk about stuff tomorrow.
American Warrior says, my wife really rocks. She's actually the one that when I suggested buying crypto with some of our wedding present cash 2.5 years ago, she said go for it. Ethereum was $6.25 at the time.
Boy.
Shout out to America's Warrior. Hopefully you have been bag holding through a majority of that time, and you continue to increase your crypto portfolio.
And hopefully we see you on America's Warrior. If you're on there too.
Did you win the America's Warrior at one point?
Right. The wife likes that. We need to get the wife in that.
That is
what up, Tree Man?
I think also tonight or tomorrow I was going to try to do a little bit of recording on Bitcoin Cash, talking about the hard fork and some of the details along with that. So if the Bitcoin Cash hard fork is something that interests you guys, make sure to watch that video. And as always, if you have a comment or concern, feel free to leave it in the comment section below, as we're just trying to get the facts presented to this community and get the best information possible.
What up, Taj? I didn't know that was you asking about ZCO. What's up, Ruby?
America's Warrior
Dusty
says, no, former U.S. Marine. Well, thank you for your services, as usual.
Well, you probably could win America's Warrior, probably.
We got any other fundamental questions or any more charts we want to look at before we call it a day?
Or otherwise, we are.
Also, the winner of the last review poll was Ravencoin. So this weekend, I did post my review on Ravencoin. It is definitely an interesting project, and one I will be keeping my eye on, and we will talk about here in the future as development phase 2 in the roadmap continues to be underway. Make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. We're continuing to grow this Learn Crypto community, and that is just awesome. We just want to educate as many people as possible on this ever-evolving cryptocurrency ecosystem that gets us all tuning into it every single day.
And I would say still take the course. The software, I think, will be a game changer. And to understand the software, you're really going to need the course. So the course is still a steal at $299. I think that's probably a $750 value. I had Corey Capaldi's wife rewrite. I've added all those that I have, so it's much easier reading. And like I said, I've been adding charts and some videos, so the course gets better as we move along.
Also, I posted another video this weekend about the affiliate program that doesn't get talked about much. We talk about the cryptocurrency trading course we do offer that has over 925 current students, as well as the crypto private client group we have where we help manage your money with trading APIs. But if you guys want to help grow the Learn Crypto community while adding some fiat into your wallet, into your pocket, which maybe you can buy some cryptos with, some Bitcoin, we do have an affiliate program over at learncrypto.io. If you are interested in that, go ahead and watch that video, but it's pretty simple, guys. You use your login, you sign up, you get your own custom URL. If you share that URL with family, friends, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, talking about the course, if somebody buys the course with your URL, you get $30 per course. If you sell over 10 courses in a month, it goes up to $35. So that's like over 10% of the course price. Also, if we give out a discount code, you are still entitled to that same $30. We don't reduce that affiliate reward for you guys. So if you are one of the 925 people who have taken the course and you enjoyed it, why not make some money while promoting that to others? And also, if you're looking to buy the course but just don't have the funds, maybe after you sell a few courses, you can use that money to then put into buying the course and continuing your T&A education.
I got to answer a few more things here, I guess. Bitcoin Cash. Actually, this is gas. The Beeve asked about gas. I mean, it's had a big move here from 15 to 28. I would say that's higher because I think we like Neo here. So I think that there's got to be more upside there. BCH I mentioned. I mean, I think BCH will have big volatility here. So I don't know if I want to. I mean, there we are at new highs.
You have the opportunity, guys, that this might ride up until the May 15th hard fork. But I think, like I said, a lot of this price action is coming, number one, from it being super oversold at the lows, and number two, from people misunderstanding the use of hard fork in respect to Bitcoin Cash. There is no new coin, guys. They're changing some code, and the coin is going to remain the same. There is no free coins. There is no free money. And I think some people might catch on to that here shortly.
Technical, I think, it looks good if it takes out the A wave. That's the only thing I'm really trading technically. I'd call that an A and this a B before. I never thought we'd run this fast, but I still think, if you don't trade the news, you could see an 1800. But that might mean, we do the 1482, we fall to 1,000 on bad news after the fork, and then we go to 1800. Because I still think, if Bitcoin makes to 12,000, Bitcoin Cash is up there at 1900.
Yeah.
But that's if, Bitcoin goes to 12,000, which is obviously a huge if. And I don't know anything I'm talking about.
Yep. And also, guys, since day one, I've always said, whether you like Bitcoin Cash or not, you need to have a 3 to 5% holding in your portfolio. Number one is a hedge against Bitcoin. And number two, these manipulated pumps, because Roger Ver never gives up, always seem to happen in Bitcoin Cash. If you own 5% of your portfolio, you can capitalize on these pumps. Even if you don't like it, you sell it for the profit, you wait for another dip, and you repeat and recycle that 5% holding.
And there's Bitcoin Gold, BTG, from 40 to 82.6. Nick talked to him when it was like 46, I believe, 44. So Nick caught a good price on those, on Venn, on some of these. So then somebody mentioned EOS. We showed that earlier quickly. I mean, there it is, 12.34. So breaking out again. So again, if you're a trader, there's lots of times to be, EOS just went from, I know when it was above 9 and below 8, it was looking a little bit ugly. And then all of a sudden, we do an 1160 down to below 10. So, and here we are breaking out to the upside again. So that's why I think, the surprises are to the upside now. Bitcoin 89.90. So all of a sudden we're starting to run for these things again.
Yeah, like Todd has said, not in a super TA level, but if we can break that 9K mental barrier, I think you're going to have a quick jump up to the next price target that Todd's been laying out to you guys.
And guys, I know, we've done it over the year, even when Matt was here, but I think, everyone's still doing it, talking about we're trying to sell courses, we're trying to sell PCG. But I can tell you, with no courses, no PCG, there's no channel, because there's no money in having a YouTube channel. $1,000 a month or whatever. I can't sit here for $500 a month. There's no way. So that won't pay my light bill and a couple of my homes. So, and Nick is not going to spend 3 hours a day trying to provide to this community.
Yeah, I definitely love everybody out there, and I love that we're getting more and more people back to this Learn Crypto community and over on Twitter. I love providing my insight to you guys. But also, if we can add value by creating a course that wasn't free, Todd spent a lot of money on that, and it can help you guys succeed. That's what we're here to do. Also, the Crypto Private Client Group, it's a 3% annual fee. You can't find any traditional advisors that are going to do traditional assets for you where they're just going to make 1 or 2 trades in a year. That's going to be less than 3%. So on that front, it is what it is, guys. I mean,
and the other thing is, Nick and I, like hopefully everybody on the channel, we're looking for long-term a lot higher. So if it goes a lot higher, we're all going to make money from holdings, we'll sell a bunch more courses in the future. PCG will explode. So there's money to be made. But as we're sitting here in the doldrums, nobody wants to buy a course probably. PCG, I lost some accounts, but I lost small accounts. Most of my accounts are still want to know why I haven't billed them, or once they look at their emails, they're paying me. So I didn't really lose. I lost some accounts, but I lost, I'm going to say, more of the newbies that chased up at the top and was looking for it to continue. And a well-conditioned investor, will ride the ups and downs. So I haven't lost my core people. Yes, we had some portfolio value fall off because we was holding 70-80% of portfolios. But we all think this is headed higher. So once again, you've got to be able to monetize a channel because just YouTube advertisements isn't going to get any money. So
America's Warrior said, give a man a fish he eats for a day, teach a man to fish he eats for a lifetime, buy the course. I mean, we come here every day to give you up-to-date news, fundamentals, technical analysis, and hopefully you can use that stuff to help build your portfolio and make some short-term trades. But in reality, guys, we're live 4 times a week, and we are pretty active on Twitter. But when you're sitting in front of that computer screen looking at that chart and you have to make a decision, if you are, first of all, taking the free education that Todd gives during the channel and or buying the course, you will feel much more confident in making that trade, and you're going to be way more successful in the long term here in cryptos. And I think cryptos, no matter what happens, has at least 3 to 5 years of trading range. Now, if cryptos and blockchain and smart contracts, like I believe, takes hold in the traditional world and how things are ran in the financial industries as well as many others, this is going to be a forever thing. This is going to become another tradable asset, another market, and being able to know how to trade with fundamentals and technical analysis and being able to evaluate that on your own is a great tool to have for the future.
The minimum is 25,000 PCG, but if you come from this channel, I'd say right now, I will work with you for less. If I get a random phone call, I'm going to tell anybody that it's 25,000. But if you got less than that, yes, I will take it because I think there's still big gains ahead. And if you had 25,000, as you know, in December, you've probably got 15,000 now. So I would still take the 15,000. And the course, we've sold the course about 920 of them, I think. Everyone knows we sold the crap out of that course. We sold them because we had the price so low. I still say it's probably a $600-700 course. No one has asked, I've had like 2 people ask for a refund at less than 5 because they thought it was too simple. And I told them just keep working ahead at the end of the course. If they wasn't happy, I would talk about it. No one contacted me. They all got into the course and then they couldn't get through it. So, and the course, people wanted me to add videos. I've been really busy. A lot of that was Matt's job, which some of that stuff didn't get done. I've gone back here working hours. I added like the Zen video showing how some point and figure works. I'm going to add some more charts off the software. I'm adding the 3 new lessons. Everyone's going to get that for free. I'm not going away. I still will be here trading stocks and cryptos till I take my last breath.
Matthew Bradley says the courses are to educate yourself with something useful. Tools they don't even teach when you pay for school with $100,000. I'm assuming you're talking about the current infrastructure for college. Also, Clifford Chapman says, #1 rule, trust Todd. Newbies come and go. We are your army. We love each and every one of you guys. We're glad that you guys tune in. We're glad that you guys learn something. And really, like we said, I do this because I want to help people. I have been in this space for a while. I've learned a lot of things I can understand. I'll tell you right up when, like Verge, I was like, hey, ride the price wave, but fundamentally and ethically, I don't believe in it, but there's still gains to be had. So you got to decide.
Litecoin 152 to 161.
There you go. You got to decide what you want to do in this ecosystem. Philip Rover, the $5 super chat, shout out to you. Next time you do that, leave a question or comment or concern so we can at least help you out for those $5. Also, in the last episode, a couple people gave me $2 donations to ask my opinion on a couple coins. We will talk about those 2 coins tomorrow live at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, so make sure to tune in for that. If you are watching now, I'm giving you the heads up so you don't miss out on what you paid for.
The wealth unit, how much you charge for that, how much to become a client. For the private client group, it's 3% annually based on the account balance. So if you have $100,000, you're going to pay $750 a quarter. And we were running 25,000 minimums. I will take a little bit less if you're coming from the channel. And again, guys, just on Litecoin, if you're a trader, and I just said it 15 minutes ago, Litecoin hasn't been acting that well, but be careful to surprise you to the upside. There's Bitcoin 91.75. So if you're a trader, I'm sure you just sold yourself out. Now you got to wonder if you're going to chase it again. So that's why, trading in a trading environment is good. If we're in still a bull market, trading, you're going to get left behind. So
what I say about 2 minutes ago, if we break 9K, we're going to shoot up quickly.
And there's Bitcoin through the triangle.
That's what happens around those price points. We already touched that 9K target 2-3 times after that.
And guys, I've made a lot of big calls on the channel. I've made some mistakes. This rally off this low has been Elliott wave to the T. So my daily updates at noon have been exact on, and that won't always be the case, but Elliott wave works if you really know where you're at inside the account. But again, I own Wyckoff Stock Market Institute. A lot of people say, why am I talking so much about Elliott wave? And that's been because no consolidated volume that I can trust. Wyckoff's all about volume on a 5-minute basis. So it's hard to talk about Wyckoff when I don't have what makes it up. So I'd look like a fool doing that. So I try to provide some value with Elliott wave. I'm trying to throw in some Wyckoff when I can. You're going to get more Wyckoff from me. But, go back and watch the last few videos of my Bitcoin updates. I mean, we've been straight on here. So again, if triangles are 4th waves or B waves. So this is probably a 5th. It could get up to 91.50, 92.50, which I've been saying. You could easily pull back to 8,400. Maybe a scare clear down to 7,800. I don't know. I think that would be the worst now. So, if I don't sell some things here, I'm going to be in trouble if we go to 7,800. But again, I'm worried about missing the upside. So everyone's got to make their own decisions. I mean, here's Ethereum up to the 668 level, or 661 or 2 or 3. That's a 0.618 retracement. Could sell some there. I think you'll get it back cheaper. But again, if you don't get it back, there's going to be a lot, I think it's a more uncomfortable position to have stuff chasing and running and you don't have what you wanted. So I'm sure there's been a lot of people left behind on this rally, on a lot of these coins.
Shout out to Chris K9, 199. You love giving out 199.
Thanks, Chris.
We appreciate you both. Thanks as always. Chris was actually also one of the ECA Electrocoin winners. So shout out to you because now you have a little bit of a bag of Electrocoin.
Again, there's Dash now at 520. So, that Elliott wave, it would have been real easy to sold some Dash up there at 420. The reason I said maybe hold off because I thought Bitcoin would still go higher because Bitcoin will lead, all boats. So that's what's happened here. Same thing. I mean, I think somewhere up here you probably could sell some Dash. A move back to 460, 420 could happen. Now I would think a 365 is not on the table. So, and who knows? I mean, if the triangle count on Bitcoin is wrong, let's go back to how you could be horribly wrong. This could be an A. This could be a B. I'm going to move these real quick. And this was a C because, as you know, I'm the WWCI off my software. We went to new lows here. The C wave should break the low of the A. It didn't in Bitcoin, but that doesn't mean that that's not the wave 4. So that means the wave 4 is already done. And now we're just headed up aggressively, which means you wouldn't want to be selling anything at all in the next, any foreseeable future. So I don't think that's the count. So I do think we're still looking at the triangle. And I do think you can scalp here somewhere. The scalp is probably more, the scalp is definitely above 12,000. If we get the ABC up to above 11,750, I will have to trade some there because that'd be a pretty big correction here. And I think the probabilities of trading that would be extremely high if we do the ABC, the upside. You can see down this first, from here to here, A to B, it was an ABC. That's a B wave right down here, if you can see that. But that was a quick B wave. So that was an ABC up, which is what we're going to have over here. But again, this could have been a B. We could be headed straight to 12,000 now. Again, I don't see that. But that's why it's so tough to take your eye off the longer term picture, trying to be cute on trades. So just be careful out there. 'Cause I more or less don't want to talk people out of positions that I think they're going to be happy with if we all just do nothing for 3 years and wake up 3 years from now, you're going to be like, I made a shitload of money.
And that's what it's all about, guys. Well, we are way over the hour because you guys have been providing some really good questions. Make sure to keep tuning in and giving us your questions. Think about them overnight, as we'll be back here tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. If you want more information throughout the day from me and Todd, our Twitter handles are right behind or below our name there. Make sure to follow us over there. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. As always, we love you guys. I am going to be having some more giveaways here in the near future, so make sure to stay tuned for those. If you go to our YouTube channel homepage, we are now separating all the videos for easy access for you guys. We got Todd's TA videos, my reviews and interviews, and then we have the live shows all together as well. So if you are looking for anything that we have talked about in the past, it is very easy to go back and reference those price targets and those overview of coins.
Taj says a new low on Bitcoin before going bullish. This is a fake bull trend. Taj, if you're right, I have to ban you from the channel. I do not want to hear that.
I don't think we're seeing a new low.
I think you're wrong. But I do, I take what you're saying into consideration.
Everybody's opinion counts, guys.
You've got some knowledge, but I cannot agree with you. What up, Clint Sykes?
And that's about it. We're going to run this outro. Hopefully we'll see you guys all tomorrow. And, man, I need to get out of here because I got to go make a few trades myself. That's all I got to say.
Hey, Anthony, what's up? Anthony, just getting here, and we're heading out.
Anthony? What is going on?
All right, Ruby, Arthur, what's going on, guys?
Good seeing you guys. I will see you later. America's Warrior, keep tuning in. We love your chat in there. You're replacing Gary for entertainment purposes. He's got the girlfriend in town, so he doesn't have time for us schleps over here in crypto world.
He got his AMBs took off again today, and his girlfriend's there for a month. So Gary will be back. He loves us too much.
We'll see you guys later. Have a good night.
Talk to you tomorrow. Later.
Hey, stay positive, pal. Most people, when they lose, they whine and quit. But you gotta be there for the turns. Everybody's got good luck, everybody's got bad luck. Don't run when you lose.
Play hard, play clean. Be careful out there.
We'll see you all again. Sleep tight.